Now, Donald Trump is leading President Joe Biden in 11 of 12 national surveys taken after the presidential debate. According to Real Clear Politics poll tracker, surveys are split on whether potential Biden replacements would outperform the president against Trump. Either way you look at it, Kosher, among all current polls, Biden is gone.
In terms of polls and him as a candidate and his candidacy and his issue set, it's looking crystal clear, undeniably so. However, I maintain that the election is still far from a foregone conclusion, even if Biden were to stay in the race, and that is because the U.S. election system is really in a post-candidacy and post-issue set era. It's all about the mechanics and the machinery and the micro-targeting of getting into those swing counties and swing states and chasing ballots and getting those ballots submitted. And that's what the Democrat Party is just really, really good at. They are better than the Republicans still. That's why you had people like Senator John Fetterman, who also had cognitive impairment after he suffered a stroke, win in Pennsylvania against a fairly popular candidate on the other side. So I would not be surprised if that still happened, but you're absolutely right at this moment in terms of the polls and in terms of the shift really with the independents coming out after that debate and everything that happened. It's really quite remarkable how much the tide has turned against Biden.
It's extraordinary, and it's only happened in a matter of weeks. Now, Donald Trump's son, Barron, made his political debut at Trump's Florida rally, and he received a standing ovation and was met with massive cheers and applause. Here's a bit of it.
A very young man is now going to college, got into every college he wanted to, and he made his choice. And he's a very good guy, I'll tell you.
It was quite the spectacular event there when they welcomed Barron there. But aside from looking like a young Donald Trump, Kosher, why do you think he's become such a popular member of the family?
You know, it's really interesting. Trump's personal life and some of the womanizing and the multiple divorces and things like that nature have never been his best feature. However, his family, and particularly his kids, have always been one of his best assets. All of them are very popular. He does seem to genuinely have a very good relationship with all of his adult children. They've all turned out quite well. They're good looking. They're successful. And now Barron is the most recent one, the last one on the scene. He was very, very young last time around. He's now 18 years old. And is, I guess, coming out as that, and people are just excited to get to know him a little bit and see him. He did look, as you said, like a younger Trump, quite handsome, seemed to be having a good time, and I think people just found that a little bit endearing.
Yeah, I think so too. I think people like to see the younger members of any presidential family. Now, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, gosh, she's really struggling, isn't she? It's a rolling cringe fest watching her press conferences, but she has now admitted to giving false information about a neurologist visiting Joe Biden. This is what she initially said.
All right, Sung Ming.
Thank you. I just wanted to get a clarification on the letter that was sent last night.
Sure, absolutely.
From Dr. O'Connor. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it didn't seem to explicitly describe the nature of Dr. Kennard's meeting with Dr. O'Connor. So can you say whether that one meeting was related to care for the president himself?
I can say that it was not.
It was not. Okay, great.
Now, she said there the visit was not about Biden's care, but has since clarified that he has been seen by Kevin Kennard, who specialises in Parkinson's disease. Kosher, how much longer really can the White House keep up this medical facade?
It seems really, really a tough spot that they're in, and that Karine Jean-Pierre is in particular. She has never been the world's most effective communicator, even at the best of times at the very friendly press corps. And now, while the knives are out and the press corps is actually doing their job with interrogating her, you just really see her struggling and those flaws in her communication capabilities, coming to bear. I think, this is a subset of that overall picture that we talked about earlier with George Clooney and others coming out against them. So you've got that chorus growing of very high-profile names coming out, both privately and publicly. And then you have the Bidens that are really digging in. And, don't forget that Biden has been chasing the presidency for half a century. This has always been his life's goal. He tried 3 times. He finally got elected. I just don't see him and Jill Biden and others going quietly into the night without a fight. And as that continues to deepen, that rift, and we'll see how it unfolds, nobody knows what's going to happen. I think up until that point, Karine Jean-Pierre is just going to keep doing what she has to do. She's an apparatchik. She'll try to keep up the facade and until that dam finally breaks. I think we're close, but I think it's going to be a very intense couple of weeks until that happens.
Yes, okay, so more to come of her rambling and nonsense during press conferences. Looking forward to that one. Now, Kosher, Joe Biden has met with the new UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer at the White House, where the president descended into some sort of bizarre rant about football and soccer. This is what happens when Biden tries to speak without his auto cue.
Well, welcome. And it's good that we had a long conversation on the phone. When you want, give me your hand there, pal. And we're the best of allies, maybe in the whole world. And we really need to continue to cooperate. And a lot we can talk about. And I think that start off, we can talk about what we call football, we call soccer. By the way, you know, soccer has become incredibly popular here in the United States. It really is growing. And, but at any rate, there's a lot going on.
Kosher, I wonder how Keir Starmer felt having his hand uncomfortably grabbed like that and being called pal before Biden went into full Biden mode.
Yes, I mean, Keir Starmer is flying high after his big victory last week, of course, and he'll just file this away, I think, in his mind, as we all are, about kind of just the obvious decline of Biden. That's a big story here. Not candidate Biden, but President Biden, who is actually in the job right now, has to meet with other world leaders, has to perform, and it's really sad to watch just on that level, leaving aside even the politics of it.